Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man has finally came to an end, and I thought I would talk about it and why I actually think it is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Because I was looking at the trailers for it, and I was kind of just like, I don't really, not really feeling this show. It might just kind of be one of those shows, like they're more forgettable and that just aren't that great. But I am happy to say that I have been proven wrong in that the show is actually pretty dang solid. Let's go ahead and dive into the good and then the bad right now. Alrighty, so like I said, I wasn't really anticipating this show all that much. And when January 29th rolled around, which is when this show came out, I was like, you know what? I'm bored. I got nothing to do. Let's go ahead and check out the first three episodes. And, by like the first episode, I was like, okay, they might be cooking here. And then I watched the second episode and I was like, oh, dang, this show's actually pretty good. So I kept watching. And by the third show, I was like, or by the third episode, I was like, you got me. I'm locked in. This is going to be a banger show. And questionable animation aside, once you get, past that part and focus just on the story, it's honestly pretty dang solid. And I like how in the finale, it wraps up everything because the last two episodes just came out today. And I watched them this morning, I do believe. And like I said, I like how everything just comes together smoothly in the final episode because it shows you how like Peter actually got his powers. Because in the first episode, it like vaguely shows you how he got his powers. Because like Doctor Strange and Venom, they randomly show up at this high school and they just start going at her. And Doctor Strange is like, "Oh, we're not supposed to be here," and you're kind of just like, "What the hell is he talking about?" But then by the final episode, you actually get to see what the hell he's talking about because Norman Osborn builds like this portal thingy to like other worlds and all that. And so Doctor Strange shows up and he's like, nah, I'm shutting this shit down. You can't be doing this. And then Venom ends up coming through the portal and then he starts fighting Spider Man and Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange and Venom fall into a portal and then that portal takes them to the high school at the first episode where Peter gets his powers. Because there was a spider that Norman Osborn was building, or like building? I don't know if building's the right word, more like testing on. He was testing Peter's blood because in episode 7, which I think might be the best episode out of the entire show, episode 7 was pretty dang solid. I did like that episode a lot. That was when, Peter was getting his ass beat by Scorpion, and then he almost dies, so then he has to be practically healed by Norman and, Oscorp and all that. And then they steal some of Peter's blood and are testing it on, like, these creatures. And one of the creatures is a spider that they, like, try to replicate the spider bite that, bit. My hair is kind of going all over the place right now. Yeah, they're like trying to recreate the spider that bit Peter, but little do they know, they're not actually recreating the spider that bit Peter. They are actually making the spider that bit Peter because the spider breaks free while Peter is fighting Venom, and then he falls into, or the spider falls into the portal, and then the portal like it closes, so the like web that the spider was on breaks, and then it lands on Peter, and then it bites him. So that is how Peter ended up getting his powers. It was from a future, like time travel because we thought it was like multiverse maybe, and that was why Doctor Strange was like, "Oh, we're not supposed to be here." What is going on with the top of my hair? I don't know. Yeah, we kind of thought Doctor Strange meant that we weren't supposed to, or that he wasn't supposed to be here because, like, it's not his dimension. But really, he wasn't supposed to be there because it was time travel. And, they time traveled to the past where Peter ended up getting his powers from. So that was a nice little full circle moment that I did enjoy. And I also liked, what's his name, Tombstone's involvement in the show. I think normally Tombstone is not a high schooler, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know too much about Spider Man, so I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Tombstone is like a grown man, like regular and like in normal Spider-Man media. But in this show, he was a high school kid. I didn't really mind that change. And to be honest, I didn't know it was Tombstone at first because they changed him a lot from how he normally looks. So yeah, I didn't recognize that it was Tombstone until like after I watched it and then went on Twitter and I was like, oh, he's Tombstone. I didn't even realize that. And then I clicked in because he had the same name, which was Lonnie, or like Lonnie Lincoln. And I was like, oh, that's Tombstone's name. So yeah, there's that. And I also liked his character development because, it shows him going from like this perfect high school kid to Tombstone, and I didn't like that thingy, and it was all because of his little brother had to be involved in the gang. Goddamn. But anyways, I don't know if it was just me, but the fight scene between Spider-Man, Tombstone versus Scorpion didn't really look as great as like the other fight scenes, like with Spider-Man Scorpion episode 7. Like I thought the animation in that episode was pretty solid, but for some reason I just wasn't feeling the animation during the fight scene in episode 8, which was Spider-Man, Tombstone, and Scorpion. Like where Spider-Man practically almost kills Scorpion, and then Tombstone has to come in and like stop him, which is ironic that like a villain or like a he's not really a villain in the show. He's kind of like an anti-hero, I guess, kind of a little bit. But he's the one who gives Spider-Man the speech about how he has to save people, and I'm just like, well, that's pretty ironic. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't really feeling the animation all that much during the fight scene between them and Scorpion. It just looked kind of off to me. But I don't know, maybe that was just me. But yeah, it just looked kind of off when they were fighting each other. But other than that, the animation was pretty solid to say the least. And honestly, when I was watching the ending, there's a scene where Doctor Strange leaves Peter, and then on the left side of the screen, you can see the Watcher in the corner. I didn't even realize he was there at first because I think I wasn't really focused on the episode. I was doing something else, so maybe that's why. Because then I went on Twitter and saw that the Watcher was there, and I was like, "Oh shoot, he's like right there," because I didn't see him at first. But to say the least, I do think this was a pretty solid show. I like the inclusion of all the Spider-Man villains and the Green Goblin build-up, because when Peter was getting his ass beat, Norman Osborn sends in this, like, the glider, like the Green Goblin glider, to, like, help Peter escape. So I like that they're, like, hinting at Green Goblin, and he's probably going to be in Season 2, because we have gotten confirmation for Season 2 and for Season 3. So Season 2 is already halfway done, so we'll probably get it next year in 2026. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the animation will improve by Season 2 and 3. Who knows if we'll get more seasons after that, but yeah. That is going to wrap it up for this video. If I had to give it a review, I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I thought the show was pretty dang solid. I liked how he had the homemade suit, like Peter at first. He had his homemade suit, and then Norman Osborn gives him the Future Foundation suit, and then he goes to the red and blue suit at the end. I did like that suit transition because, the Future Foundation suit got absolutely destroyed by Scorpion, so he needed the red and blue suit at the end. So that is going to wrap it up for this video. You guys can let me know what you guys thought of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Like I said, I thought it was a pretty solid show, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be mid and just kind of but it was more than that. It was actually pretty dang good. So I'm looking forward to Season 2 and Season 3. So yeah, we are only 24 subscribers away from 600. People keep unsubscribing. I don't know why. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys subscribe so we can hit 600 subscribers by 2026. And that is going to wrap it up for this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.